This is Larry the Barberman, and today I am with Colin Hardgrind. Colin Hardgrind is both an entrepreneur and a barbershop owner. I first interviewed Colin 2 years ago, and just to remind myself what Colin did, Colin was an ex-boy band member. He learnt the trade of barbering with some orange kitchen scissors. He then had to leave the music business because of an injury to his wrist. His work was spotted in a hairdressing shop, and the owner of the shop asked who cut this haircut, and Colin was referred to. The rest is history, and then he went on to open his first shop in Dundee, which is now 2 shops, so we will pick up from there. So Colin, thanks for taking the time to come back and give me another interview.
You're welcome, buddy. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it, I really do.
So Colin, tell me, how has your shop evolved since I last saw you 2 years ago? Because when I came to see you, you only had 1 shop. Now you have 2 shops. Tell me a little bit about the evolution of both the shops and the brand.
Yeah, it's kind of snowballed since the last time we spoke. I think when you were last up, I had two barbers and that was it. And now I think there's upwards of 14 or 15 actual working barbers. We've got warehouses now, we've got stock control people and all that kind of stuff as well, so it's moved on massively. We've not done loads though, you know, like Aberdeen's almost been open. We actually opened it just after we spoke. We took our foot off the gas a little bit after that to make sure that they were running as they should. I think you can push too hard sometimes and too quickly and oversaturate something. And we made sure that didn't happen. We really held on to the crux of what we wanted to do. And now that everything's kind of running quite smoothly again, we're looking to open up another few shops by the end of this year. But for us, the best thing is the staff that we have. They're just incredible, you know. We've got guys on the main stage out there today, guys getting publications and all that kind of stuff from their own recognition, which is fantastic. And none of them are from Dundee or Aberdeen. They're all moving from Wales, they've moved from Ireland. We've got a girl from Melbourne in Australia who's working with us now, Larissa. It baffles my mind that people want to move their life to these cities to come and work under the Hardgrind brand, and it's incredible. It really does baffle me, but it's been a crazy couple of years, but I wouldn't change it for the world, that's for sure. Okay,
in your explanation there, 2 things resonated with me. Crazy, which I think the Hardgrind brand is, for one, and integrity, because I remember from our first interview, you were saying when you open up Aberdeen, you want to keep it at Aberdeen until you can get the 2 in sync, because you were talking about brand integrity. You gave me the analogy of McDonald's, saying that McDonald's, you know, whether or not you go to McDonald's in Aberdeen or London, it's the same thing. So I
mean, every shop is going to be slightly different. You'll have different personalities and things, that's just standard. But as long as the ethos and the standards and the services still feel like Hardgrind when you walk in, then that's all we could ask for, you know.
Okay. And remind me about the name Hardgrind. Tell me why you called your brand, your shops, your apparels Hardgrind.
Yeah, it was actually my business partner that came up with the name. We were one of the first kind of people doing the coffee as well, so it was like Cuts Clothing Coffee. You kind of grind the coffee beans. There's a little play on words with that, but it's mainly just about the actual grind. I mean, anybody that cuts hair knows that it's not as glamorous as Instagram makes it look. You're on your feet, you're cutting back to back, you're rarely taking a break. And it is a grind every day, but it's just a nod to those people that go out every day, not just barbers, but guys who hit the gym really hard, you know, businessmen, all that kind of stuff. It's, if you want to get somewhere, you need to dig in and put in the work and grind really hard, and it just seemed like a great play on words for us to go with it.
Okay, so I spoke about the brand growing exponentially. When I first come to your shop 2 years ago, I think you just had t-shirts. Now you've got oils, and maybe you're in a better position to explain than I am what the brand consists of.
Sure, yeah, we've just branched out over time. We do our own beard oils, we've got salt sprays now, all made by us with custom scents, so it's not any white label thing. The brand's kind of really taken off. I mean, even today, the stand that we've got at Barber Connect today it's busy, you know. It's incredible to see people walking in already wearing the brand, you know, people from Brazil and America and all these places that wear the brand. I mean, I still don't know why. It baffles me every day. But it's amazing to see happen, you know, and the way it's evolved and stuff is incredible. And we're really big on quality, so we take a lot of time to put into the actual garments themselves, not just the designs, but the actual quality of the t-shirts, the fit of the t-shirts. That's something I'm really anal about, probably too anal about, but I wouldn't put something out I wouldn't wear myself, so I'm always looking for new samples of things or custom fits of things just to try and make it slightly different, you know. There's a load of great brands out there, and we're just happy that we're still managing to sell to people. It's amazing.
And one other thing that has grown exponentially in my eyes is your Instagram. When I first came to see you 2 years ago, I think you was in the region of 8,500. You're now at
43, I think, 43,000, about there, I think.
And how much do you think Instagram has played a role in your success?
Oh, massively. Like one of the things I get asked at shows is, oh, who does your marketing, or how did you get sponsors and all this kind of stuff, and there is no answer. We were just us. We hit it maybe at the right time, we did it the right way, I don't know, but I'm not one of those guys that thinks it's 12 o'clock, I better post. I post when I want, what I want. We're not afraid to show our personality with the brand, which is I think what people like about it. It's not just haircut, 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 haircut. There's stupid videos of us just shop life, and we all hang out outside of work together. A lot of us are dads, we take our kids and we all get together as a family. Like we portray that on our social media platform, and that's what I think people really enjoy seeing. It's the realness behind it and the stresses of it, the dark side of the business, not just everything looks great on Instagram. There's hard times and stressful times, especially with businesses. So we portray all that, and I think that's why people respond to it. So we're very lucky with the followers we've got, but there's no rhyme or reason to why we get it. I'm just very fortunate that people seem to care about what we say, which is great.
Okay, so as a successful entrepreneur and barbershop owner, there's a lot, by the same token, there's a lot of barbershops and barbershop owners that are struggling. Is there any words of advice that you could give to these struggling barbershops, being a successful barbershop owner?
Do you know what the best thing I did in business, first of all, was have a business partner. And it's not someone just to financially take the load off, but having someone who's invested emotionally as you are, who you can, I like people second guessing me. I want them to make me guess my own actions and justify it, because if they're unsure about it but I can persuade them, then I know I'm onto the right thing. Trying to do it on your own, you can spend a lot of time second guessing yourself and worrying if you're doing the right thing or not doing the right thing. And myself and Richard, we work really, really strongly together on that kind of thing, which really does help. But it's getting a background on business. I think that's a really important thing these days. I mean, you don't get taught it in high schools. Not many people go off to venture into a PhD or anything, and it's very easy to think, well, a barbershop looks cool, we'll just go and put a mirror in a chair and that's it. But you don't really know the first thing about business. I mean, I still don't. I'm still learning every single day. But I had almost a decade of managerial and business experience before I even launched Hardgrind, which helped us proceed the way that we went to. People don't know about basic kind of things like your taxes and your VATs. That's just things that are a wash on people, because right now it's very popular to own your own business. So people will see it on Instagram, that looks really cool, look at those guys, and then they do it and find out all the stresses, all the hardships, all the struggles, the late night accounts, because you're cutting every day. Who's going to answer your emails when you're busy cutting? Who's going to do all your paperwork, that kind of side of things? So it's a really kind of, it's like a minefield, it really is, but a bit of background, a bit of kind of knowledge in it would really help people, I think.
Okay, so go and study.
I think so,
the kind of left brain activities of
business.
business.
You don't have to go to a class or anything, but even just looking on Google, looking on websites and stuff, there's plenty of information out there to help you, you know.
And what kind of one marketing trick could you share with us that helped your business to grow as it did? Because both yourself and your business partner, Richie, are considered marketing whizzes in the barbering world.
You know, I honestly, Larry, don't know how to answer it. I don't have anything. I don't consider me a smart marketing guy. I just think it's about being real. I think it's about being honest and being open and being transparent. One of my old employers taught me that you have to put on a face to things. You've got to be, even if you were broke, you've got to pretend that you're not to get that next business deal and all that kind of stuff. And it went in that year and straight out that year, because I just didn't agree with it whatsoever. And I think if you build something real and honest, people will relate to that. People will back that. And that's the only thing we've ever done, is be us. Sometimes it's stupid things, it's deep kind of personal things, it's advice and inspirational kind of things. It's just whatever it is, but it just seems to resonate with people. And like I say, I feel lucky by that, because I'm not trying to do anything. I'm just being me, and the guys are being them. And as one big dysfunctional Hardgrind family, it just really works, and it responds with people. And that's it. There's no trick. Just hire a bunch of crazy people that are as crazy as you, and it kind of seems to work.
Okay. And talking about people invest in you, what companies do you have ambassadorships with? We
work with the Bluebeard's Revenge. We've got sponsors with Rockstar Energy Drinks, Sailor Jerry. We're doing a big thing with Brewdog right now. They've always backed the shops, but we've actually got beer taps going in all the shops as well, like a full-on bar with kegs and things, which are all kind of made by Brewdog. And we're working with them on our own ale as well, which will be pretty cool, like an actual Hardgrind kind of ale, which again will be pretty cool. I think a bit different than just beers in the fridge, help yourself. We'll literally be pouring pints of our own special brew, which will be pretty cool. We work with Dickies Clothing, WSC. There's a few great brands that back us, which is amazing.
And this is, again, based on what you were saying earlier, not just putting on a facade on Instagram, but having some business acumen would help you to get these kind of ambassadorship stroke deals.
And the things I make sure with those partnerships as well is I don't want it to be one-sided. I don't want to sit here and ask for handouts. I don't want just free beer and I don't want to do nothing for you. I want to do things for them. We're going to the Rockstar factory in Cumbernauld where it's made, and we're doing a big pop-up like we've got today to give out free haircuts to the staff. We're doing things with Brewdog at their AGM every year, so we want to give back to them also. That's how it works. It's not just give us free beer so we can give it to our customers. That's not what I'm about. You know, we want to make sure we're doing something for them too.
It's important. Yeah, that's a very valid point, because I think that a lot of barbers have numbers. These companies invest in them in the sense that they'll send them product, and their reciprocation is, look guys, I got this for free from X, and then that's it. It's not
most
like
of the brands have more followers than the shop anyway. So I mean, what can I do for you? You've got the followers. You're the bigger brand than we are, kind of thing. So you've got to find an avenue where it's beneficial for both sides, which we're fortunate we can do with pop-ups and things like that. You know.
Yeah, you know how to talk to the nutters, whereas the corporates might not.
Yeah, we'll be on the front line for the nutters. Yeah.
Okay, so let's leave the barbershop. Literally, I want to talk about your bike ride. You've got a charity bike ride that's going on. Tell me a bit about this, and maybe how the barbering community may be able to help or support you in this bike ride.
Yeah, do you know what? It started about a year ago, just as a conversation between me, Luca from Luca's Barbers, and Ryan from SB Barbers. Bike enthusiasts, barbers who just talked about doing a kind of charity run from up kind of north somewhere to down south somewhere, stopping off doing a few seminars. And since I actually started to put the wheels in motion, the amount of attention that it's grabbed has been frightening, and it's now grown into this monster that I can barely comprehend. But basically based around Xavier from Russo in the UK and Richie from Captain Fawcett, the three of us have mainly taken the reins of this now, and it's now grown into this monster that I can now see being like a proper yearly event. It doesn't have to just be in the UK, this can go abroad and everything. So we've got Harley Davidson UK sponsoring it, obviously Rockstar are sponsoring it, Russo, Captain Fawcett obviously are all sponsoring it. I think GQ are maybe getting on as media partners. We've got Barber Evo, Barber Envy, all these people. Modern Barber as well, I've got a big thing about it today, and it's just grown legs completely. So it's basically a bike ride from Hardgrind in Dundee, not just for Harleys, it's open to all motorcycles, but based around Harleys because that's what most of us ride. And it's riding from there down to the bike shed in London. So we're stopping at a few different destinations on the way. We're going to do some barbering seminars, which we're trying to keep quite intimate. I want to kind of make it on a really kind of intimate learning basis, not just a kind of big stage work kind of thing. Drinking a bunch of beers, I'd imagine, and kind of hightailing our way down to London. So our bums will be sore, but it's all for charity at the end of the day. So we're doing it for the Lions Barber Collective, and we're doing it for Great Ormond Street Children's Hospital. So there's just giving pages, so people that aren't even barbers, like people like my family, friends, that kind of thing, can all donate. Then we've got tickets on sale for the shows themselves, and then the tickets on sale for the actual ride. So if anybody has a motorbike and wants to come on the actual ride, they get all the journey details and hotel details and stuff. And it's just basically a 4-day ride, 5 seminars, which will just be all in the name of fun, really. Okay, and the date this ride commences is on what date? It's July 22nd, which is a Saturday. There's an evening seminar in Dundee at the Hardgrind shop, followed by an after party Brewdog, which is kind of like the opening of the whole tour. Then we stay over, we ride out the next morning, and then just start working our way down from there. Okay, and the tickets can be purchased from? Yep, there's barbersride.com, that's barbersride.com. It's £25 for one of the seminars, which gets you a goodie bag from the sponsors, and obviously there's entry to the after party, or it's I think it's £250 for the full ride, but that's like the full 4-day ride with the guys, entry to all the events and after parties, and you get like a £250 goodie bag from the sponsors as well. Like I say, there's just giving pages and things like that as well. We've actually got donation buckets at all the stands today as well, just for people that want to just put in a couple of quid and things like that to give anything they can towards the charity. Okay, and the gifting pages, will they find that on the same ticket page as well? Yep, everything's on the website, absolutely, or the Facebook, the Hardgrind Facebook and things like that. All the details are there. But something I'm really excited about. We try and do something every year to give a little back. My other brand, Abandoned Ship, we created Hardship. Hardgrind and Abandoned Ship is one big thing, which is a charity brand that we have, where we work with different artists every kind of month. We create something unique and we sell it, and all the proceeds go to the artist's choice of charity that month. So we're always trying to do something to give a little bit back, but beers, bikes and motorbikes, beers, bikes and barbers, what's not to love about that, you know? So it'll be a good event. We've got a lot of great guys on it, a lot of great barbers on it as well, which is fantastic. So something I'm really looking forward to. That's a very interesting point, you know. I think one of the things that has made you as successful as you are
is the fact that you absolutely love what you do and you try to integrate all your loves into one love. So when us entrepreneurs have to do these average of 16-hour days over 7 days, I'm not talking over 5 days, I'm talking over 7 days, at least we're doing something that we actually enjoy, which is another very important
It's just
skill.
not knowing how to switch off. I'm always thinking the next thing and the next thing and the next thing, like what can we do this time? And I have this thing with myself every year from the start of the year, like at the kind of turn of the January the 1st, where I map out what I want to achieve that year, what avenues I want to kind of hit, and then I just go balls to the wall to make sure it kind of happens, much to my wife's dismay. But
okay, yeah, because you go on kind of like a lock off, because I've kind of seen a post where you kind of like, leave me alone, don't talk to me, don't ring me, I'm going to plan my year.
I think it's really important though, you know, I think that work-life balance is something we preach massively, and I'm the worst for doing it, which is more difficult, I guess, because I've got all the baggage that comes with it, but you need that time, you need that perspective, whether it's a holiday, just a weekend away, getting lost up the mountains with your phone turned off, but sometimes you can't see the forest for looking at the trees kind of thing, you know, and you need that perspective. It's really important in business, I think, and I need it more than anybody because I'm the worst at that work-life balance.
That's right. By failing to plan, you're planning to fail.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yes. It's funny because I just interviewed Petrie last week in Orlando, and he attributed his vast success to planning on paper, and not just planning on paper. It's not as easy as that, but you have to stick to your plan on paper every single day, add to it, subtract from it, add to it and subtract to it. So
I think it's the biggest thing, is again, it's previous employers of mine, but when the trend changed, they changed with the trend, if that makes sense. So they were always, but we don't, we are us, we know exactly what we want to do, and we don't deviate from that ever. And that's why it works in a successful way, because we don't, even if something changes around us, it doesn't matter, because we are still going the direction we want to take it. And other people might take it different paths, and that's amazing, but that's their path. We are focused only on us ever. Someone can open up a shop, like I hear it all the time, did you hear such and such barbershop did this, or such and such has opened up here? I was like, it doesn't really bother me what they're doing. You know, great, go for it. If you opened up on the same street, I promise you it wouldn't bother me, because all we focus on is our own thing, and our own staff, and our own team, our own customers, and that's why it seemed to work, I guess.
And lastly, your own madness.
My own madness, yeah, we definitely focus on that.
Another addition from the last time I interviewed you is The Daily Grind, which is a new blog series that you run every week. Again, explaining your madness in your own words. Tell me about the Daily Grind blog and what people could benefit from being part of it and reading it.
Yeah, do you know what, it started actually, I have maybe something that a bit of a rant on social media maybe, and it seems to get a lot of traction. Like say people seem to really respond to maybe what I have to say, but then it just gets lost after the next post goes on, the next post gets on. So I kind of wanted to start writing something that was there over time that could always still remain there, so people could read it and find it quite easily. So we've got our own Hardgrind app that you can download on Apple and Android and all that kind of stuff. And it's on there as well, as much as the apparel is and the booking system is, it's there so people can read it at any time. And it just gives me a bit of a chance to just, not just rant, but just say what's on my mind in a way that will just say last a bit longer than just one Instagram post. But we delve into a lot of stuff. It's not just about barbering, but like I say, I'm quite passionate about business also, and with this age of people wanting to do their own business and entrepreneurs and all that kind of stuff, I think it's really important to voice the real side of it, not the Instagram filtered lifestyle of it, but the real true madness that comes from it. So the stressful nights, the sleepless nights, it's tough, you know, like it's really hard. I mean, I'd certainly never moan about it. I mean, it's something I choose to do and I love it, but you have to paint both sides, I think, and the blog gives me that avenue that I can talk about different areas I want to talk on. And again, it seems to go well. People seem to really enjoy it and respond to it. And it's nice because it gives me something to do at night to maybe try and switch off and get it all out onto a page, and then hopefully my mind can switch off. That's the plan.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense, yeah. It's like page dumping, isn't it? Yes. Dump all your thoughts
onto
the page,
and then
you can go to bed hopefully with very little on your mind because you've dumped it on a sheet of paper or in a Word document.
Exactly.
Right, Colin, we're going to close up. What words of advice do you want to give to that young barber that follows you and maybe down on his luck and he wants to emulate your success? What would be your parting words as we go back into Barber Connect?
I think it's find out what you want to do. You know, don't just look at what someone else is doing and want to mimic that. Think about how you can put your own twist onto something. Sure, take inspiration. There's loads of it out there just now. The height of barbering at the minute is incredible. There was nothing like this 10 years ago. So soak up all of it. Come to shows like this. Education is a massive thing, and I think the biggest thing is just patience. Don't want it all there and then. I think with the Geordie Short era, which is what I like to call it. Everybody wants to get buff and look like this, but they don't want to do the 2 years of training and the intense diets. They just want it now. And it's like, I want the internet faster. I want the touch of the button to be quicker. I want this to be smaller. That's just the generation we live in. But I think it's a long game. It's not the short game. So you need to find out what you want to do and then work hard to get it. And don't expect it overnight. Don't expect to not hit any hurdles. But just as long as you know what you want to do and you're focused on that, nothing can throw you off that path.
Perfect. Colin Hardgrind, thank you ever so much for
thank you so much for
your
having me
words
again.
of wisdom, giving your take on the barbering world, and continue what you're doing. And I wish you every success, which is, it's not even a wish, it's a foregone conclusion.
Thank you so much, Larry. I appreciate it, buddy. Thank you.